Hello everyone, I all hope you have very much of a wonderful, great, blessed morning and a great day indeed, guys. I am so superly grateful, guys, for all of your support in watching and viewing my episodes from shorts from YouTube and from TikTok. I'm very superly grateful for you guys, and may God continue to bless you all so much. Please also like to subscribe. Please also like and subscribe to YouTube as well. You'll find me there as well, and also like and subscribe to TikTok as well. You'll find me there as well. Despite that, guys, I'm so superly grateful for your support in watching and in viewing my episodes from YouTube and as well from TikTok. From both sides, I'm so superly grateful from you guys, as in completely grateful to you guys. May God bless you and keep you safe and keep you happy and healthy in whatever it is that you're doing or trying to pursue as well. And may you all stay blessed and very happy as well. May God bless you all. On today's episode, we're to speak about a powerful, formidable supervillain known as Power Star, who is the high-ranking member of an ancient secret society of supervillains known as Darkstar that was quietly formed and founded by the Star Witch Queen, and also by the Star Prince many centuries ago, with the goal and interest to conquering, ruling the sacred universe and the sacred world, which aligns with the stars' empire, sole objective and long-term plans in conquering and in ruling the sacred universe and the sacred universe and the sacred world, in a process to further the ultimate sinister plans to have sole dominance over the sacred universe and over the sacred world, so that the star people can remain the sole dominant species over to the sacred world and over to the rest of sacred existence and to the sacred universe as well. Let's exactly begin. In Power Star's early life, he began studying so much about the sacred world's ancient histories and wars and battling that took place in ancient times, as he was so obsessed to know about the ancient deity threat, known as the King of Darkness, who lived for centuries and many centuries, and also during in ancient times in the sacred world. Power Star was so obsessed about the King of Darkness, believing that he plunged the sacred forest, which is a magical, benevolent forest that's quietly filled with magical pixies and fairies, elves, and witches and druids who all live together in harmony, where there's a magical villages and clans and tribes of magical creatures and beings that all live together in harmony. Power Star came to believe that the King of Darkness wanted to plunge the sacred forest into eternal darkness, so that he can exactly gain more power and more dark powers and ability to manipulating the entire magical forest's ability and power at will. During which Power Star became so obsessed in order to finding out more about the King of Darkness, that it was even willing to form a powerful secretive alliances with the most powerful ancient threats that ever lived throughout sacred history, such as the Dark Sisters and the Shadow Sisters and the Shadow Witches as well, who also have lived for many centuries and for many millennia, and for many centuries and for many millennia, especially also as well during in ancient times as well. During which at that time, Power Star began his global conquest and his global campaign in conquering thousands of worlds and planets and civilization throughout the robotics universe, throughout the robotics universe, the golden universe, the Mixel universe, the sacred universe, the over universe, the light universe, and the dark universe, and the dark universe as well, and the dark universe as well. During which he sent out and dispatched a fleet of battle cruisers and a fleet of warships in order to conquer thousands of known worlds and magical worlds and civilization, to which he began secretly starting a war with the inhabitants of the creatures that live in those worlds and in those planets as well. Nevertheless, Power Star successfully succeeded in his global campaign in conquering numerous thousands of known worlds across the region of the known universe, and he was known and feared by his persistence and by his ruthlessness and by his ambition, by his very much by his very much ambition, by his very much ambition, and so much by his dark ambition, and also by his thirst for power and control, which he decided to further his own sinister plans and goal in a process to learn more about the mysterious ancient force being known as a King of Darkness. During the course of his long life, Power Star waged war on multiple worlds and planets in order to conquer them and strip them of the resources, which he completely did in doing so. During the process of his long life, he managed to encounter the Red Empire warlords and commanders, during which he was able to successfully meet up with them on the secretive basis of operation, which was on one of their own volcanic islands, which was one of their own volcanic islands of their basis of operation, where the Red Empire warlords and commanders supplied Power Star with the intimate knowledge and great knowledge and wisdom from the archives and from the great texts of knowledges that Power Star wasn't able to grant access from. They provided him with all the ancient texts and secrets and knowledges about the ancient evil threat force being known as a King of Darkness, and about the Shadow Witches, and about the Shadow Sisters, and about the Dark Sisters as well. And in return, Power Star supplied the Red Empire warlords and commanders with more powerful territories for them to conquer and rule, and with more island volcanic cities, worlds, and planets that are under the sole control of the powerful evil warlords and warlocks and commanders, who are also ruling them according to their own terms and to their own condition. The Red Empire warlords and commanders were sadistically impressed with Power Star deliverance and also owning up to his part of the deal and to his part of his bargain. In return, Power Star and the Red Empire warlords and commanders formed a powerful, formidable alliance that from here on out they will remain associated, and that they will secretly remain in contact with one another from here on out. During the following course of the centuries Power Star remained towards his central headquarters of his basis of operation within the star universes, worlds, and planets, until the Star Prince came with a very interesting offer to offering Power Star to join his organization, and also to making sure that he remains a high-ranking official in the Star Empire. The Star Prince exactly explained his ambition and his goals and his true long-term plans and his conquest and his grand vision for the Star people and for the rest of his kind, and for the rest of his known, and for the rest of the Star universe, meaning that the organization and the secret society that he has formed many centuries ago, known as Dark Star, is now being reassembled and is now being reformed again in order for it to fulfill its soul-driven purpose and goals by any means necessary. The Star Prince also told Power Star that he would also benefit greatly by this, with his resources combined with the Star Prince, that they will both actually literally benefit greatly from all of this if they work together as partners and as associates as well, since they're doing this for their people and for the rest of their races. Power Star gladly accepted the proposition that the Star Prince actually gave to him, and he shook hands with the Star Prince, stated to him that he's officially a member of the ancient secret society of supervillains known as Dark Star, willing to make sure its goals successfully bear fruit no matter what, and a high-ranking official of the Star Empire, which the two organization and the society and the empire itself share the common interests and goals as well, that have been so closely aligned with one another as well. On the 15th of January, Power Star met up with the Star Empire warlords and commanders, where they previously told him that the conquest of the Star Empire has gratefully taken a greater place and a greater hitting towards the other worlds and planets and civilization, meaning in other words, the Star Prince needs to start utilizing his resources and everything else he can find in order to make sure that the conquest of the Star Empire successfully bear fruit. Power Star reassured the Star Empire warlords and commanders that everything else will go according to plan the way it's intended to be as well. On the 15th of February, Power Star secretly convened with the members of Dark Star on another secretive basis of operation within the Star Empire, where the Star Wars Queen exactly told the members of Dark Star that they have to complete their plans and their goals and their long-term plan to conquering and ruling the sacred universe, as well as the Star Prince exactly reassured the members of Dark Star that everything else will go accordingly the way it's intended to be. Now that the power vacuum of the Shadow Empire has completely consumed the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders and all the other commanders to start fighting amongst themselves, which will soon gratefully benefit them in the long-term course of their plan as well, and which will soon successfully bear fruit. And Power Star was very much quietly reassured as he sadistically relinquishes in a great smile of an evil face. On the 29th of March, Power Star and the other Power Star met up with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders on a distant base of operation, on a secretive basis of operation within the galaxy's known worlds, within the galaxy's bars and clubs known worlds where aliens and supernatural and superhumans all live live together in harmony and drink and fight amongst each other, where the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly reassured Power Star that they will continue supplying him with more knowledge and with more intimate knowledge and everything else about the King of Darkness. Power Star told the Shadow Empire warlords that there's been a change of plans, that he wants to know more about the ancient, powerful being known as the Sacred Garden. The Shadow Empire warlords and commanders told Power Star that they have no records and no any ancient texts or languages about the Sacred Garden, that they've never completely they don't know nothing about it because it's not exactly recorded in sacred histories, archives, or texts or books or anything else of that. Power Star exactly still told the Shadow Empire warlords to supply him with all the ancient texts and books and scrolls and everything else they could possibly find within the Shadow Empire archives or books or knowledge. Anything else that might lead him to the Sacred Garden's secretness or anything else. The Shadow Empire warlords and commanders reassured Power Star that they'll continue their research on the Sacred Garden. But if they found nothing, it means that their deal is hereby and their partnership is hereby terminated. Power Star also promised the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders that he'll grant them full access to the Star Universe's worlds and resources and planets if they can exactly gather him the intelligence and the information about the Sacred Garden that he's so willing to find. They shook hands with Power Star, who's another warlord, and agreed that that is exactly what they're willing to do, as long as it benefits both sides in any other way. On the 15th of April, Power Star convened with the members of Dark Star in another secretive basis of operation, where the Star Prince told the members of Dark Star that he has formed a secretive alliance with the Universal Prince, who is also a founder and a leader of his own ancient secret society known as the Order of the 12, that is also dedicated with the purpose and with the goal and mission to ruling and controlling the sacred universe and the sacred world in a process by plunging it straightly into chaos and into destruction in a process, so that the Universal Prince will become the new Universal King in return, so that they can combine the ultimate resources all together in one. Despite this, Power Star was very much quietly happy, as he quietly knew that the Universal Prince will greatly be a greater ally to the organization and to the empire, as he told the Star Prince that everything else is going according to plan the way it's supposed to be, meaning that now they can secretly share resources to their allies, to the allies associate and to the allies associate and members of his organization and of his secret society, meaning in other words, they are officially able to work together. As a Star Prince, we assured the members of Darkstar that their common interest and goal is to still rule the sacred universe and the sacred world, and that they're still waging war with the Shadow Empire that's under the current leadership of another supervillain known as Red Bolt, who's a founder and leader of the Dark Order, dedicated to manipulating events and wars and conflicts from the shadows of the sacred world in order for them to remain the sole rulers of the cosmos as well. On the 28th of May, Power Star launched a full-scaling invasion on the island worlds and cities of the sacred worlds, where his huge fleet began literally waging war, with the warlords and commanders of the island worlds, where he brought thousands of battleships and he brought a fleet and hot air balloons at his command, as he completed to ravage the entire volcanic island cities and worlds and planets at his command, and simply by placing them under the sole control over the Star Empire. The warlords and the commanders of those islands were forced to surrender and were forced to submit to the Star's Empire, to the Star's Empire's control and also submission as well. But they made a very, very delicate, interesting proposition, as they told Power Star that in return they will share all the knowledge, all the dark knowledge and secrets that the original Lord of Magic was able to unlock about his immortality and powers and dark techniques of controlling and manipulating shadow energy at will. Power Star was very quietly intrigued by this, as he asked the warlords and the commanders of the islands what do they exactly want in return. The warlords and the commanders of the island told Power Star what they actually want is for them to have soul control and also immunity from the other worlds and planets and civilization of the sacred magical dimension and of the sacred magic universe, so that they can have soul control over those worlds by wiping out and annihilating and exterminating the fairies and the witches and the druids and the warlocks and the druids and the fairy witches, the druids and the fairy witches and the druids, and also the wizards who live there, so that they can become dark and powerful warlords ever existed throughout sacred history. But they also exactly spouted that the universal heroes and the universal magic heroes will gratefully pose a major threat to their conquest and to their long-term plans and goal. Power Star exactly reassured the warlords of the islands, the warlords of the island worlds and of the island worlds and planets, that everything else is exactly about to go in plan, and that he has a sinister plan to take care of the universal magic heroes and of the universal heroes as well. A plan that will swiftly blow towards them. On the 15th of June, Power Star attended a video conference with the members of Darkstar in one of their hidden bases of operation, where the Star Prince completely told them that their alliance with the Order of the 12 has been managed to be firmly fertilized, and that they are one with the Order of the 12, and that they're officially partners, and that they have agreed to share their resources and everything else with them, and that meaning that it'll soon exactly benefit them with a common goal and with a common interest as well. As the Star Prince began to reassure the members of the Order of the 12 that everything else is beginning to successfully go according to plan, the way it's supposed to be. Power Star completely asked the Star Prince is that the organization's goals will successfully take place one way or another or not. The Star Prince exactly told Power Star that the organization's goals will gladly successfully take place one way or another, because in other ways they will soon be able to bear fruit one way or another, as Power Star was gratefully reassured of that. On the 20th of July, Power Star secretly met up with the warlords and commanders of the respective worlds within the secretive bases of operation within the whole of the volcanic islands, where they've agreed to supply him with the intimate knowledge and everything else, as Power Star agreed to supply them with more resources and greater expertise. To doing so, they all agree that they'll remain associate and partners as well during the long-term plans of their common interests and goals as well. And Power Star was successfully pleased and very much relieved of that as well. On the 15th of August, Power Star secretly convened with the members of Dark Star on within the Star Universe, within the Star Universe, within the Star Universe, within the Star Universe's homeworlds and planets, and straightly to the Star Empire central headquarters, where the members of the Dark Star began to convene as a Star Prince began to reassure the members of Dark Star now the plans of the organization and of the empires are fully being aligned, now that it has managed to form another secretive alliance with another powerful, formidable villain known as Red Bolt, who now has managed to come in terms with a common interest and goal that they are the ones in power and in control over the both empires, which could soon exactly annihilate the Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition and the Four Nation Hunters in the process, which is what they share a common interest and a common goal to that as well. Power Star was very much more relieved and very much quietly satisfied now that things are taking a very much of an intriguing turn for his own and are willing to benefit him as well in the long term of the process. On the 29th of September, Power Star continued searching more and more about the hidden intimate knowledge and dark knowledge that the original Lord of Magic possessed many centuries ago, and especially during in ancient times. And he managed to solve it and crack the forbidden secrets of a powerful forbidden dark technique, which he could decide in order to use to destroy his enemies once and for all. And he was able to do this in one of his secretive bases of operation that are quietly hidden throughout the known worlds of the sacred universe as well. On the 15th of October, Power Star and the rest of his forces were fully ready to begin their global attack on the sacred worlds of the sacred universe to wipe out the Four Nation Hunters, which they gladly began to do that. They began their full scaling invasion on the other worlds, but what they did not expect is that the universal Earth heroes will be there to save the inhabitants and the members of the Intergalactic Coalition and of the Four Nation Hunters, who gladly stepped in and prevented the attack from gladly taking place. Power Star focuses all his attack in the new dark technique he discovered that the new dark technique didn't work at all because he didn't possess the mortal dark magical powers or abilities that the original magic has been granted by the shadow energy, and he decided to withdraw from the battle, and he completely disappeared while the rest of his fleet was completely decimated and destroyed throughout the battle. The allies and of the Universal Earth heroes and the rest of the inhabitants remained victorious as they won the battle, as the enemy's fleet were completely decimated, and they managed to capture several key enemies and several Star Empire warlords and commanders, and they were ultimately sentenced to the Astro Prison, a prison designed and dedicated to house super criminals, super villains, dark druids, and dark witches, and evil warlords and commanders and warlocks and powerful, dangerous criminals and unknown parallel forces of evil who also wreak havoc to the known universe and the rest of sacred existence. That is what the Astro Prison is designed for, as well as the Sacred Prison and the Dark Ark Prison. The Shadow Empire and the Red Empire and the Winter Empire. Each of these empires house their own prison islands, and some of their prisons are also located within the central headquarters of the empires, such as the Star Empire's prison are also located are also located straightly at the central headquarters of the Stars Empire, central headquarters of the bases of operation as well. Despite this, on the on the on the 20th on the 29 on the 29 on the 20 on the 29 on the 29 of November on the 29 on the 20 no no actually on the 29 of November on the 29th of December on the 29th of December. Despite this, Power Star realizes that he didn't exactly gain the knowledge or anything else he managed to actually crack. He only discovered the alternative way for him was for him to actually secretly infuse himself with shadow energy, which he exactly decided to do so as well. On the 15th of January, Power Star met up with the dark and powerful immortal magic users known as the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful, who began exactly infusing him with shadow energy, where he became mostly powerful and gratefully invincible at will, where he was so strong and very powerful. Power Star realizes that now he can exactly master the forbidden technique and the power as well within the process. On the 15th of February, Power Star secretly convened with the members of Dark Star in one of the bases of operation, where the Star Prince exactly told them everything else is quietly in place now that the Shadow Empire and the Star Empire share a common goal and a common interest in order to annihilate their common enemy. Now they're willing to combine their resources in order to annihilate them and to remove them out of the way so that they can have sole control and dominance over the sacred universe and over the sacred world as well. And Power Star exactly was very much completely pleased and that everything else is successfully going according to plan as well. On the 20th of March, Power Star secretly convened with the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders in one of his bases of operation, where he exactly told them that they gathered the knowledge and everything else that he required, and that they managed to successfully able to bring it to him in right to restore. And Power Star was successfully pleased and very relieved that now he has gathered the knowledge he's been searching for many centuries, and that he told the Shadow Empire warlords that the worlds of the Star Universe are officially under your sole control as well. And they were also very much pleased and very much acquainted with what Power Star offered them many centuries ago. And Power Star remarked that the partnership and the association will still remain a secret to them and only to them and only to them only. That it only remains only to them as well. They all agreed to that. Despite this, guys, Power Star is so ruthless and so and very much ambitious and a very powerful, power hungry super villain who dedicated his life in searching for dark powers and dark abilities in order for him to access to so that he can exactly access the forbidden dark knowledge, and also for him in order for him to access the forbidden dark knowledge or power so he can wield the dark powers himself, so that he can become more powerful in order to decimate his enemies and wipe out the Four Nation Hunters for good. He never liked the Four Nation Hunters. He completely hated them and he completely despised them with his whole life and everything else. He serves the Star Empire with great devotion and with great loyalty, and he's a high-ranking member of a secret society known as the Dark Star, dedicated to having sole control over the sacred universe and over the sacred universe and over the sacred world as well. He's a high-ranking official of the Star Empire, which the Star Empire's goals align with the organization and with the secret society as well. He's so ruthless and very powerful. Due to his long gravity, he believes he's destined to exactly wield the power of darkness and the power of shadows at will, which he's been willing to access for so many centuries by researching more about the ancient deity king known as the King of Darkness, who lived in the sacred forest of the sacred world, who was able to plunge the sacred forest into eternal darkness for eternity. And he's been studying him and learning so much about him and learning so much about the Four Nation Hunters and about the original Wolo magic and the Shadow Witches and the Shadow Sisters and the Dark Sisters as well. And they roll in this secretive dark galactic conflict war that's been going on for centuries and for millennia. Despite this, he's very ambitious, ruthless, and very, very cruel in nature. Merciless, very skilled in hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, guns, daggers, blades, and weapons, super speed, super hearing, super hearing, super strength, super speed and super strength and super hearing, and as well as the power of free spread, and as well as a power of manipulating, and as well as the power of manipulating, and the power of mind controlling, and the power of infusing himself with shadow energy, and the power of using shadow energy's power in order to grant him more dark power. Very skilled in the dark arts of dark magic, and very skilled in mind controlling, in deception, very skilled in manipulation, very skilled in manipulating shadow energy at will, very powerful and very skilled in super strength, telekinesis, mind controlling, mind reading, very skilled in sensing the forces of good, such as the universal heroes and the universal magic heroes and the Four Nation Hunters energy at a close proximity of a distance. He possesses a huge fleet of the Stars Empire's battle cruisers and battleships and hot air balloons and airship fleet at his command, and he maintains his usual bases of operation as well as his central headquarters of operation, which is quietly within the Star universe. He's been able to actually operate from. He forms secretive alliances with powerful, formidable Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, and with also a group of powerful dark magic users known as the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, and the Dark Faithful, in order for them to aid them on his respective research and his global mission and campaign to conquering many merciless known worlds across the known universe and throughout the cosmos of the sacred universe and of the sacred world as well. Despite this, he even forms a very powerful, formidable, secretive alliances with the other warlords and commanders of the other volcanic worlds and planets, in order for them to utilize their resources and their abilities and expertise and talents that are so connected to the sacred archives and books and knowledge, in order for him to supply them. In return, he supplies them with more volcanic island worlds and planets and civilization that are under his sole control as well. He's very ruthless and very cruel and very formidable and very great and extremely immortal due to his superhuman strength and superhuman speed and supernatural physiology. He's a hybrid of his species and of his kind, one of the most dangerous and powerful and formidable foe. According to the Star Universe's history, Power Star is gratefully a power-hungry warlord who believes that he's destined to become and remain the sole ruler of the sacred forests and of the sacred worlds and of the rest of the sacred universes, willing to form powerful, formidable alliances with other powerful criminals in order for them to utilize their resources, so he can also exactly let them utilize his resources as well for their common interest and goal. He's so determined and so ruthless and very much devoted to his goal and to his mission. He's a well-behaved super villain and so well devoted to the Stars Empire's goal and mission and global conquest in order for them to conquer the sacred universe and the sacred world as well. Due to this, he's very powerful, extremely immortal, and very merciless. He even forms powerful secretive alliances with the Red Empire warlords and commanders in order for them to supply him with the intimate forbidden knowledge on the King of Darkness and on the Shadow Witches and on the Shadow Sisters and also on the Dark Sisters, so he can understand their dark magic abilities and their power, what makes them so strong and extremely immortal and very ancient. Power Star has been obsessed with manipulating and controlling shadow energy and dark magic and the power of manipulating darkness and shadows at will. He's been so obsessed and so fixated with it that he's even willing to do whatever it takes in order to access and hold the power for himself, so he can use it against his greatest enemies, the universal heroes and the Four Nation Hunters and the Four Nation Hunters and the Universal Magic Heroes and the Universal Earth Heroes once and for all, so he can precisely wipe them out with his forbidden dark power and dark abilities as well in the process. He's extremely immortal and extremely intelligent and extremely very powerful and very resourceful and very, very ancient, not meant to be underestimated. According to the Four Nation Hunter history database, Power Star's histories and origin are unknown to them because he's one of the deadliest threats throughout the Star Empire, and he's known to be feared and to be feared and to be revered because of his reputation that precedes him, because he's extremely merciless, very patient, and very cunning and sadistic and very sadistic and cruel and very ruthless in nature. He shows no mercy to his enemies or to any obstacle that dare opposes him. He's very dangerous and very deadly, dark and very mysterious. According to the Four Nation Hunters and to the Universal Heroes, Power Star is completely the unknown threat of the entire sacred world, and because of this, and his origins are completely a mystery. He is literally one of the worst of the worst. And to do to this, being due to these origins and him being unknown throughout the sacred world's history and to the Star Universe's history, he uses that to his advantage in order to keep his origins a full secret so that he can exactly maintain his reputation and his status quo. And due to this, he bears a philosophy and a very powerful creed, which also helps him understand his goals and his long-term plans and his sole purpose and destiny to the Star Universe's goals and mission and global campaign in conquering worlds, universes, planets, civilization, unknown worlds, volcanic worlds and planets and civilization and magical worlds and the sacred world and the sacred universe. He's very resourceful and very ruthless, a true believer of the Star's Empire's goal and mission and of the organization and of the secret society known as Dark Star. A true believer and very loyal member to the organization and as well to the Empire and as well to the Star Empire and to the organization known as Dark Star, which is an ancient secret society, which is an ancient shadowy secret society that's been able to operate throughout the Star, that's been able to operate and function throughout the Star universe for many centuries and for many, many years as well. He believes in their goals and in their mission and is willing to assist and help in any way he can by lending his resources, his expertise, talents, and his greater abilities to the organization's global goal and to the Star Empire's global conquest and campaigning against the sacred universe and against the sacred world in order to conquer it and to rule it with an iron fist, so that the Star Prince will remain the sole ruler of the cosmos. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I'll actually see you tomorrow. Have a blessed day and have a great day indeed. Like and subscribe to YouTube and also keep watching and also have a blessed day and a great day and enjoy yourself and stay safe and happy. May God bless you all. Bye.